Hello, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode on Boundary Line Podcast. Dillon Pink, Sheldon Dougherty here. And today we're going to be discussing the Australia versus India series that just got concluded. We're just going to get into the discussion and see what were the key highlights from the tour there. Australia, of course, winning the series 2-1. Brilliant match there. Just the last one that got concluded in Chennai. And you got to say, Australia right now, the number one side with that win. And to discuss this, I've got Sheldon here as usual. Sheldon, super impressed with Australia's win there.
Yeah, Dill. I mean, crazy. Again, Australia went 1-0 down, in the series and they came back and it felt like a new Australia, right, Dill, after that second test in the tour. It was a different team. Who would have thought this was the same team, who capitulated in Delhi, right, in that second test? Like, it just felt like a different team showed up. And since then, they've been quite brilliant and well-deserved, I feel, the series winners as well. And yeah, a benchmark sent to India as well. And yeah, just terrific from Australia.
Yes, absolutely, Sheldon. I mean, I thought Australia played brilliantly well there, and rightly so. Sheldon, like you said, that after that test match in Delhi, this just seemed to be a very different Australian side there, right? You could see it in their body language there. After that win in Indore, it just felt that this was a totally different team, and maybe I'm just saying it can be the Smith effect. Probably it's just Steve Smith as the captain. Any words on him?
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I mean, who would have thought, right? As soon as he took over, it just felt like he was the captain they needed at that point, right? I mean,
Yeah.
He took over and it seemed like he's exactly what they needed. He was aggressive, his field changes, his bowling changes. I mean, he was excellent. Some of his catching as well and fielding. Yesterday, Smith's run out as well. That was just brilliant. And he's a terrific fielder as well. Like, you almost forget how good a fielder. Yeah.
People forget Steve Smith is actually a brilliant fielder. I mean, who can forget some of those brilliant one-handers that he's taken, even in the IPL for that matter, right? Like he's gone, he's taken some completely blinders there in the IPL as well. But yes, Sheldon, Australia played really well there, and rightly so, are just winners. And with that win, Sheldon, they go up as a number one ODI side. They are also the number one test side. Also, I think, or not. I don't think so. They're the number one test side. They are.
Yeah,
They
number
are
one
the
test
number
side
one side as well. So, I mean, that's some feat getting into this year, right, for them.
Yeah, insane. And you think they were the worst test side, right? Everyone was claiming after like 2 test matches. And it seemed like they planned well as well for the series. Some of their team selections. And in the last game, they didn't pick Maxwell or Green as well. And usually you think those two would start like most games. They played Ashton Agar. Man, Ashton Agar finally played yesterday. I mean, he came 2 months back, as the second spinner, and he finally played as the second spinner in the last ODI, and he bowled pretty well. Did 2 big wickets yesterday as well.
Brilliant bowling by Ashton Agar there. We'll get into that more, Sheldon, but what I want to start off with is with Travis Head and Mitchell Marsh. I mean, is this the new openers? Are we looking for Australia? I mean, do you get a feeling that they just wanted to test them out and see whether, this is going to be the likely pair for the World Cup?
Yeah, it's insane. Sometimes with these big teams, you usually have 2 standard openers who, for a long time are there and you kind of see a similar pattern. But it just felt something fresh. You just saw Head and Marsh come and they were so positive. And even in Chennai, which wasn't the easiest pitch to bat on, they just came out and started attacking. And in all the games, they gave them a pretty solid start.
All 3 matches. That's right.
Yeah. And Mitchell Marsh opening, like, what an eye-opener for Australia. He just had a superb series and he took the attack to them. And I mean, for as great as Aaron Finch was, we know towards the end of his career, he faded off a bit.
Yeah.
So, like, this almost felt like such a breath of fresh air, Mitchell Marsh. And a terrific series he had, and the way he was attacking with the new ball. I mean, it'd be very hard to remove him from opening right now as well, right, Dil?
Yeah, Sheldon, for sure. I think after this series, I think Mitchell Marsh has kind of sealed that place, although I would say that, I mean, like you said, Aaron Finch was brilliant when he was back in the day, like, in his heydays. But I think Mitchell Marsh here, opening the batting was something so different. And I didn't expect him to do that well, because you expect Mitchell Marsh to come 1 down. I think in the T20 World Cup that was there a couple of years ago, the T20 World Cup, he came in as, I think he was batting 1 down or something like that. 2 down sometimes, and he did well there for Australia, but I didn't expect him to be an opener, and he's really impressed me. I have to say that, and hopefully these 2 go on to do some good work for Australia in the future. But on the other hand, that these two guys have done so well, Marnus and Smith would have felt that this tour was not the best for them. Although Smith, you can probably get away, and we can probably say that yes, he's done a great job with the captaincy. But Marnus, he had those chances there, like right throughout the tour, but I think he didn't make the most of it.
Bill, if you had to guess, right, that Australia would win 3 games on this tour, and Smith and Labuschagne would contribute nothing with the bat, you think I was joking, right?
Yeah.
If I told you that at the start. That's just insane. Like they didn't score in pretty much all the games, and it's so surprising because you can probably cut them slack because they've probably carried Australia's batting for multiple years now. But I felt Marnus especially, he'll be very disappointed because he almost got a start every game, and then you just felt he threw it away. Like even yesterday as well, he just hit it in the air, I think to long off or long on, right? And you just felt it was not needed at that time. So I think Marnus especially will have a few regrets. I think Smith's a champion cricketer. We all know that. And he's had tremendous series. He can have one-off series. He is human. And his captaincy was pretty brilliant. So I think we can let Smith have one-off. But I know Marnus is a terrific test player, but I just feel in ODIs, maybe he's not the most suitable player in that middle order. I feel a more attacking player would be better. Or what do you think, Dillon? Is he suited in the middle order? He batted 5 yesterday, which was kind of odd.
Yeah, we'll discuss that more, Sheldon, actually, where he batted in that game. But yeah, I do get you. Sometimes it feels like it's a bit odd. But then on the other hand, you have to also kind of think sometimes that, maybe Australia required that kind of a batsman in the middle order, because they've got all big hitters, in the likes of Glenn Maxwell, they've got Cam Green, they've got Mitchell Marsh, now Travis Head, but there's not that one person who can probably bat out all the overs, or see the team through, unless if it's Steve Smith. So there's just Steve Smith there, and there's Marnus. There's these two guys in the team that can probably play the sheet anchor role there, I should say. So probably keeping that in mind, I think he's there in the team. But otherwise, I do kind of agree with you that sometimes you have a look at the team and you be like, okay, I don't know if Marnus should actually be in this team or not, because there are a bunch of guys out there on the bench who are damn good, right?
Yeah, Dylan, and I know I may be biased here, but how is Glenn Maxwell not there, right? I know Australia look at him and they'll probably think, oh, how many chances can we give him? He's inconsistent, but he's just that X factor, in that middle order. If you had Maxwell in there, and that's who I would play instead in that middle order. But again, Australia probably think, oh, how many chances can we give him? He's inconsistent. But he's just that X factor. And even Green, for example, in that spot would be very dangerous. So I feel one of them in that spot.
I think yesterday, Glenn Maxwell, I think he kind of injured himself or something.
I think so.
That's why he wasn't playing. And Cam Green was supposedly not well. But yeah, whatever. In the end, Australia won the series. That was good. But coming to another brilliant player, Sheldon, Mitchell Starc. I think if there was ever a fast bowler that's so brilliant, especially now in the past few years, you see that it's got to be Mitchell Starc, one of the best. And along with him, Adam Zampa. This guy wasn't even picked in the test squad. And sometimes you got to wonder how, right?
Yeah, I thought Zampa, especially yesterday, brilliant. He showed his class. In a series decider, in a pitch which was a bit slow and suited the spinner as well, he showed his class. 4 big wickets as well. And at a time when India looked like they were just going to get ahead, he kept taking wickets. And Starc, Starc's just a legend. I feel he almost goes underrated. And I think that is a disadvantage also being an Australian, because you always have, McGrath or Vaughan. There's always that great bowler. So you almost undervalue the legends now. And I think Starc's a legend. What he's done at World Cups as well, just brilliant.
Those records in World Cups, I think the past 2 World Cups, he's the highest wicket taker. And I think there was another stat that I was reading that in the World Cup years, he's always ended up as the highest wicket taker. That's just insane. And he's already started off this year so well for Australia. But Sheldon, that second ODI, that spell from Mitchell Starc, that was just out of this world. Bundling out India for 118, I thought was absolutely insane. And then Mitch Marsh just comes out, and I think Australia got the game done in 11 overs or something.
Yeah, it was insane. And when Australia bowling, you thought, maybe it's an up and down wicket. It'll be a tough chase, whatever they score. Head and Marsh just came on and started belting like it was a T10 game. It didn't seem like a T20, and it was just insane. But Starc's spell there, Starc just has those spells where the pitch doesn't matter. Yeah. And he can get any batsman out. And poor Sky as well, Starc kept pinning him on his leg, and it
Yeah.
was he couldn't do much about it. It's like
Yeah.
first ball that too. Like good luck playing that. And when he gets that in swinger going as well, I mean,
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. The shape and where the ball like lands, and just brilliant to watch. Coming to India, Sheldon, the big question is he back? And when I say is he, I mean KL Rahul. Is he back now? I mean, because that first ODI he played, I mean, that was a good knock there. Came in at a difficult time when India were 4 wickets down, and was there at the crease there in Mumbai along with Jadeja, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Yeah, but Jadeja, they had a good
The match
partnership
away
there,
because
yeah.
Australia was almost there on the verge. If they had to get one more wicket, then you thought the game was done there, and then India would have lost that match as well. But I thought he batted really well there, right?
Yeah, it was a superb knock. I mean, it was a terrific knock in tough conditions as well. It was a tough pitch throughout. Both teams struggled, I think, except for Marsh in the first innings. Like most batsmen struggled on that pitch.
Yeah.
And yeah, Rahul played a good knock. And I just feel in ODIs, in the middle order, he's just so much more better. Like he can just come in and play his natural game. And I don't know, maybe in Test they could try that as well. Him in the middle order, he seems more suited to come into the middle order.
I don't know why,
No?
but I feel he should be an opener. I feel Rahul is just too good, man. Just too good to play down like at number 5 or something like that. Number 4, number 5. I feel he's got so much in him. Like, he can just open the batting and he can just do wonders, especially when the field is up and they've got like just 2-3 guys out there. I feel he can do damage, and we always see that in the IPL also, right? Like when he goes and plays, like it's just so brilliant to watch. But something happens to him when he starts playing for India. Like he's too good a player, but of course Rohit and Gill are there. Like so that option is not available. Moving on, Sheldon, what I think Indian fans are now worried about is Surya Kumar Yadav's form. I mean, that's just some sort of a record. I think you need to have, a first ball duck in all 3 matches. I mean, that's unbelievable for the number 1 T20 batsman.
Yeah, Dillon. Okay, the first 2 games, I thought those were very good balls. He got as well, first up from start.
Yeah.
But I feel yesterday, you almost felt like he was thinking about it when he came in, because I don't think that was a great ball, also Zampa, and he just almost overthought it when he played it. And I think that got to his
I think it was Agar. I think it was Agar who took his wicket.
Agar, Agar who got him in that over. And you just felt that he was tense also when he came in.
You could see it,
And it's so unfortunate as well for him, because like Starc can bowl that ball to anyone. I mean, first up, like he did in the first 2 games. But 3 ducks. I mean, like you just wouldn't expect that, right, Dil?
Exactly. And that was from Sky. Like I was like, okay, fine. He will score at some point, but in the 3rd match also, when he got out, I was like, okay, man, not again. Like this can't be happening, and then it starts to play on your mind, right? I mean, just imagine him, like he just goes out for 2 ducks, he comes out in the 3rd match, gets another duck. He must be thinking like, okay, I'm probably the worst batsman, and it's harsh, and how the fans are, they're harsh.
Do you feel maybe they didn't help him yesterday by bringing him so late? Maybe if he had come, like he came after Jadeja as well, right? And after
Axar, which I was down or something. I think he came 6, 7 or something.
And I don't know if they did it like, like as a plan, or maybe it's just because he was a bit out of form, so they want him later. But wouldn't it have been better if he was brought in a bit earlier, so he can play with more freedom with more batsmen, below him, instead of keeping him so late where, okay, he has to win it now for them almost?
I don't think so. I think they were probably thinking about the right-handed thing, like going on, because you felt that sort of a thing there. I think they needed that sort of mix there in between, because you've seen that with Australia also when they were batting. The moment a left-hander got out, they replaced it with a left-hander, and when Head got out, David Warner came in. When this guy when Mitch got out, like Steve Smith came in. So you could see that, and I think India were trying to do that as well. But also, I think I was reading somewhere. I was watching another video. I think DK was probably mentioning that, he feels that it's probably best suited that Surya Kumar Yadav comes in during the last, if you give him like 15 to 18 overs to play, that's when he's good. But I think the plan didn't work there because, he came way too down, and, there was just the asking rate, I think also was in check, but then India had to get that total in the end. That seemed daunting, right? But moving on, Sheldon, also what everyone probably thinking is what's with India and these left-arm quicks. I mean, I know left-arm quicks are beautiful to watch sometimes when they take those wickets, but Indian fans would be like, not against India. They look good, but not when they take wickets against India.
Yeah, well, it's an insane record, right? I mean, the left arm seamers have against India. Like, I remember when Bolt had a good record, and I think last summer as well, Topley had a good series against India
Topley,
as
there's
well.
Shaheen Shah, Afridi, who's got
Yeah.
good, Chris Bolt, Trent Bolt. Then there's been even this guy,
South
Pakistan,
Africa, Marco Jansen, Amir also,
Marco
yeah.
Jansen also, yeah.
And I mean, it's such a strange. I mean, there's some very good left arm seamers as well.
Yeah.
Like these are some very good bowlers.
Yeah.
And I feel like, yes, okay, maybe sometimes they do struggle, but they do also score. And I feel it's almost expressed too much when they get out to them. Like,
Yeah.
come on, Stark's really good bowler. I mean, he'll get
Yeah.
most batsmen out. So I mean, that can happen. And Bolt also is a very good bowler. So I mean, it can happen time to time. Probably India wouldn't want it to happen as much as it has been happening. And I feel also it gets more enhanced when it happens in an
Yeah.
ICC event. Like
Yeah.
people look at it more then. But I don't think there's a big problem. I think they still play them reasonably well. Do you feel it's an issue, Dil, or like not that
No,
much?
I don't think so. I think the left arm seamer just add a different flavor to the game, and I think the angle that which they bowl in, I think is a bit tough because there are not many left arm pacers in a team. Like you see, probably a team will have just one left arm pacer. India had Zahir Khan. After that, I don't think so. There's been any good left arm seamer. Arshdeep is there, but he's not playing now, right? Because you see, like Sri Lanka had Vas and Zoysa. England, I can't remember anyone, at the top of my head. But more often than not, teams have a lot of right arm pacers, right? So when another left arm, so that's one person there, and you're not used to facing them in the nets. Like I'm sure, like even India, for that example, would only be facing Shami, Siraj, and everyone in the nets. So when they get another left arm pacer, that different angle comes in, like the way the ball leaves the hand and the way it hits the pitch and everything like that, it becomes difficult. So that's that. But having said that, it was a brilliant series, Sheldon. I think Australia played brilliantly well, and Steve Smith captained the team damn good, and rightly so, adjudged winners. So there you have it, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you have any comments, do leave them, of course, there. And you can follow us on Instagram. Our handles are down there in the description. And thank you for watching the video. We'll see you soon.